making some D&D characters with that same DM that Ezra was working with yesterday. If you want to just introduce yourself really quick.
Hello, hi. I am Zag. I am a professional dungeon master and have been for about the past 4.5 years. Basically, people pay me to run stories and tell stories and things like that. Basically, run D&D games, but also create a larger shared experience for people that are really looking for that experience for that thing. Yeah.
Oh, our CEO is here. Hello. Yeah. So why don't you give us a little recap of what we're gonna be making a character for?
So we are going to be making a character for a one-shot that you guys will be doing called Tales of Essos, Whales of Shade Hollow, where effectively your characters will be in a place called the Umber Realm, which is not like your typical fantasy world. The Umber Realm is a dark world with no sunlight. They experience a form of dusk, but for the most part, the sun does not terribly exist. However, there is a unique factor of this world, and that it's entrenched in Fey magic. Because of this, you have rise to the different myths and legends of various creatures gaining sentience and then gaining life. And from that sentience and life, they take on new forms. But you guys will be dealing with something else. You will be dealing with the bad side of this, called nightmares. You see, nightmares are said to be the manifestation of fear. And as the manifestation of fear, it can also be said that they might just be extraplanar creatures that feast on the fear of others and mold themselves into that collective fear that is had. And so, with that, you guys will be tasked with going and hunting down a would-be nightmare within this game.
That
The
sounds
process
spooky. I'm into it.
think waterlogged zombies and dark forests and swamps and large bony creatures. Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun time. Not to mention the other mechanics to really add into it, like injuries and things like that. People, if you get hit too hard by this giant amalgamation of flesh and bones, you're probably gonna break an arm or something.
That's fair. I absolutely love. I love a swamp creature. I love a swamp creature. So I'm for it.
All right. Well, to start, first, I recommend, if you haven't already, going over to the settings on the right side there and turning your master music volume level turning it down until it's like a solid 40.
Okay. All right, we got it at 40. I will adjust if needed and turn off my own BGM.
Awesome. Because throughout this, I like to play some spooky gothic music to kind of get into the mood of the whole game before we get into this next process that Ezra went through yesterday, which is the CCW, where basically we create your character together and we kind of go through the character sheet and I toss out some interesting or less known things that you may not be aware of and be like, oh, hey, we basically kind of work together. You learn a little bit about the world, about the lore of it, and about, more importantly, where you're going to be in this world, as well as, the different types of magics or archetypes of characters that would exist in this kind of world, as it is a Fey realm, more or less. Now, if you look at your journal, which will be the newspaper on the right side of your screen there, you'll see question marks. That is going to be our character that will be customizing this experience today.
Okay, okay. All well and good.
All right, I'm gonna do some fun little settings here for your character sheet. All right, so getting into it, who would you like to embody and to play for this one shot? The idea is to kind of set us up for the future. Who knows? Maybe you guys really enjoy the one shot, and you want to continue, adventuring with these characters and taking them further and the further, more dangerous things. And so what we're doing here is we're also kind of setting up for future use of the character. Or even if you want to use it in a completely separate setting in game, you could still do so. Having a very strong personality that is there. And so with that, yeah. What kind of character would you like to play? What comes to mind for you?
So, are you talking like in terms of just general vibe, or are you asking like if I have any ideas for race or anything?
I'm asking more for general vibe. The way how the process typically tends to go, the first rule is usually classes always last. We'll focus more on like your character's personality and stuff like that, versus what they can do. So we'll go with like the process kind of is broken down into little chunks. So first we kind of start out with like this character marble slab, right? And then we go into what species or race your character might be within this world, and we start chiseling away at it. We go, okay, we have their race. We pick a name because there's certain naming conventions that elves and goblins and hexbloods and owlin tend to use in my world that aren't necessarily all the same, and they're very quite unique and distinct from one another. And then you go into rolling stats, and then at the very end we get to mark it off with a crescendo and have a bit of a class discussion.
Okay. I think that just in terms of vibe, I would really like to. I think I want to play somebody who. I love the general aesthetic of like creepy fae, swamp creature, stuff like that. So I kind of just want to play a character who would just be very entrenched in that world, very used to it, like it's kind of normal for them, maybe a little bit unsettling.
Okay. So creepy, potentially swamp person.
It doesn't have to be like a swamp. Like I don't have to be like I crawled out of the swamp. I think more the vibe I'm going for is just like somebody who knows their surroundings and has just sort of embodied it.
Hmm. So it's like they're the manifestation of that Bear Grylls meme where it's just like survive, adapt, overcome.
Kind of, yeah. Someone who just embraces the spookiness of it all and the weirdness of it all.
Okay. That's doable. Well, now we're gonna get into race. Race or species. As far as the Umber Realm goes, which is where this game is going to be set, the Umber Realm, you can choose pretty much from this set list. You could be a Shatter Kai, which is like a gray elf of death, effectively. But in the Umber Realm, they're the most adapted beings out of all of the races and species that exist because they were born here. They were made of this world, and they were made ultimately for it as well. You have moon elves, you have dusk elves, half orcs, spriggan, which are these sort of animalistic humans that thrive off of, in a sense, at least in the Umber battle for the most part. Spriggan are born to protect these great monoliths of fey magic called Elderwoods. And as they are born to do this, some of them tend to break off from this tradition and live the life of an adventurer seeking out the wider world than just what is around their native woodland. You have Durgar, which are sort of like shadowy, um, dwarves, effectively. You have your humans, your owlin, which are owl people,
Mm.
hexbloods, which are individuals of Fey hag lineage. And they carry this hag's blood in them, and it has significantly changed their outward appearance and also kind of magic that they're able to wield. Um, you have changelings, Dhampirs, which are basically, well, they're effectively vampires. But vampires are a much different thing in the Umber Realm than your average vampire. Deep gnomes and goblins are the list of choices you have.
Okay, I think that I am leaning. Man, I think I'm leaning either towards a hexblood or a changeling. I gotta think about it though.
Well, hex bloods do come in pretty much every shape and size. You can be a hex blood of the night hag lineage, which will give you, purple skin and potentially like brown, sort of curled crown like horns that come across from the back of your head to the front. You could be potentially an anise hag lineage, which makes your skin gray, but you gain like a natural +1 to your strength, as anise hags have been known to crush people by hugging them to death. Um, you could be a blood or a sea hag of those types of lineages, or just your basic green hag, which is from your basic like green skin, the Wicked Witch of the West type deal.
Very interesting. I think I do. I think I'm gonna go hexblood on this one.
Okay, hex blood.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask, what lineage would you like to follow from?
Do you have is there like a written up list of lineages?
I could just post them, send them to you.
Yeah. If you could send them to me in Discord just so I can like see it in front of me. Also, hello to my chat. I am paying attention to you, I promise. I just have like kind of divided attention right now. But hello. Okay. Ooh. Very interesting. I think I just want to be I just really want to be like really fucking spooky. I think I want to do a blood hag.
All right, yeah. So to give you like a basic description on like what blood hags look like due to their sort of outward appearance, they tend to have like almost like pale skin that you would attribute to some level of um anemia,
I was gonna
right?
say anemia. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have the you call it, the whites of their eyes typically tend to just be blood red.
That is spooky, yeah. I do enjoy a good spooky hag with red eyes. Very nice.
And I will accompany them with a picture of what they were.
Ooh, oh, that's spooky as hell. I very much enjoy that. Almost looks like what's the word? Albino almost. That's very cool.
The hair colors tend to also very wildly vary, but they tend to be usually some hue of deep red or crimson, much like blood.
Oh,
It can
cool.
also kind of go into hues of, like you can see here, like a grayish color, which can give a lot of hexbloods of the blood hag lineage like an appearance like they're older than they actually are sometimes.
Wait,
Due
so
to
like gray hair? You could have like gray hair.
Mhm.
That is so. Wait, I love that. I love gray hair on people, like whether they're old or not. I think that's like such a cool thing. I love that. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely keeping that one in mind for sure. Also, I'm sorry if you could hear people outside my window yelling. They're getting a little crazy out here at my apartment complex.
All right. Well, do we have a final stamp on hexblood of the hack lineage?
Oh, most certainly.
All right. The next part of this process is going to be a name for your.
Okay. I do you have any naming conventions for hexbloods?
I do actually naming convention. So, for real world comparison, yeah, they would basically range because hexbloods would most certainly have names that are very much close to that of what a human would be named.
Mm.
So they tend to have a mixture of like an English, a British, French, Danish, Slavic, for the sake of like a name generator. If you'd like to use that, you can go and like search up like a Victorian era name would be kind of like the spread of names that was commonly.
I see. I see. Okay. Um, let me really quick. I'm turning off my window capture for a second while I go look for that. So you said like a Victorian era type name?
If you would like.
Okay. Wow, some of these are just so normal.
You
Uh,
can definitely spice it up by adding a couple of letters into them.
like a stray like H or something, or like
Hmm.
an A. Very interesting. Hmm. So much to there's much to consider. Oh wait, I kind of like this one. Oh wait, I kind of like this one. Okay, I think I have a name. I think I'm going to name her Lavinia. That sounds like kind of like a weird goth girl name.
Did I get it right?
No, but I will change it.
Yeah, go ahead and change it. Um, what else comes next? Ah, yes, the last name. So, how I typically like to do last names is that, if you're characters of the Fey lineage, you can have basically, one of two sort of last names. Um, you could either have your last name be where you're from. So, like for instance, your name could be Lavinia of Lova. Or you can just basically make your own, like family last name yourself and pull it from the many sources that are out there.
Ah, okay. And last name can just be like any old last name that you would like slap on like a human. Like it doesn't have to be like some like funky fresh type thing.
As long as it comes from like the sort of French, Danish, Slavic sort of background, it'll fit pretty much right in.
Okay.
And if you would like to see a map, I can show you a map or two of like where your character might be from, where you can pull a last name from.
Oh, sure. Why don't you go for it? Give it a look.
All right, this is a section of Ordur Evdir where your character will be, or rather where they're born. You know, since the Umberum is a mirror plane, it mirrors the real world. So the Prime Plane has, 7 continents. There are 7 different Umberellian continents that also exist, with the fun little twist of the fact of it being a Fey realm, ruled and for the most part lorded over by Fey lords.
Mm.
And to give a brief description on Fey lords, think of a tail coming to life, except this tail gains sentience and doesn't really care for morality. So the often story is that in these parts of the world, where I'm showing you here, if you happen to walk across a wild Fey Lord, they can just wipe you out right there. They are, in a sense, almost very alien to you, to the normal, regular person, as these are beings of pure magic. They have no sense of morality or anything like that. So they're very, very dangerous creatures.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope we don't just, come across one of those. That would be kind of, bad.
Almost certainly.
I think I'm going to... I think I'm just going to yoink a last name from the internet. And I think I am going to probably do something aggressively Slavic.
Okay, that works.
So that way I can get myself a really easy character voice. This is okay. This is good and fun. I think, oh yeah, it's all coming together, baby. I'm just going to slap the Russian last name for Wolf down on there, so she gets even more goth. So we are just My Chemical Romance at this point. We are ultimate goth girl. We're loving it. Also, I do apologize for the black screen moments. I just don't want to like go and like crack open a Google search and like have it be like, and here's the link to your tax documents or something like on accident.
That would probably be quite problematic.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. But yeah, I think we are squared away on a race and a name.
All right, go ahead and type it into your character sheet.
I most certainly did.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, with that, we can start with the stat allocation. So one thing about this one shot we'll be doing, your characters are going to be starting at 2nd level. And how I like to do things is that we'll roll for your stats. So if you look in your character sheet, to the left of short rest, below hit dice and death saves, but above the little gold and fantasy money icons, you'll see stats. You just click that button 6 times.
Okay.
We'll have your array of stats.
Oh my god, she's loaded.
Oh yeah. The one thing I like to do with stats in my games is that you keep all the stats from the 46 roll. We don't drop the lowest or highest or whatever have you. We keep them. This is most part because, these stories are told about heroes. You can't be a hero if your stats are, maybe slightly better than that of a commoner. There's something
You can't be a hero if you're normal.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Stories aren't told about normal people. They're told about these extremely exceptional people or for stories told of grave tragedies.
I see.
And we'll get to see if the story of your group becomes a requiem or a tale.
Oh, I think that I have no hope for my gen mates. I won't lie. Maybe they'll prove me wrong.
Hopefully, we have yet to see. There's going to be an array of different characters and things like that. So who knows what might happen.
Got it. Okay. Well, this is fun. Ooh, I think so I get to allocate these wherever I want.
What I recommend doing, and what I highly encourage, is putting your stats where you feel like they belong the most. And what I mean by that is, if your character is a very charismatic character that can talk to people and connect to people and things like that, then I recommend doing just that.
Oh, charisma's gonna be her dump stat. She's getting that 10 in there.
Oh, okay. Are they very wise and learned, or are they, very intelligent, book read, book smart, able to figure out a problem, higher intelligence. Now, Constitution is a very funny role with my games. You see, usually in D&D, Constitution can be seen as a dump stat, right? But in my games, it's a little different. Not only does it govern your hit points, but it is the save DC for a number of mechanics that I have created. One of these mechanics being injuries. Your threshold for having your bones broken is determined by how high or low your Constitution modifier is.
I see. Okay. Good to
It
know.
also determines your likelihood of death in your threshold for it as well, which is another mechanic we'll be using where a person has a certain, instead of getting hit and going, getting knocked unconscious, and basically, for those of you guys that don't know, in 5e, when you get knocked unconscious, you kind of just get IRL stun locked, and you're rolling death saves every turn, hoping to stabilize, and then hoping that the creature or the DM doesn't just look at your character and then just splat their brains, on the ground like a watermelon. So I developed a system where effectively, when you hit 0 hit points, you go into a state of being called death state. And in this state, you are able to continue to play the game, but your death and your life is truly within your hands. The threshold and the shield for dying is a little bit lower. You have a certain number of wounds that if you accumulate, you just die outright. But at least you have an opportunity to fight for your character and to fight for their life, as they fight monsters, things like that.
Okay, good to know before I start allocating stats. Okay. So yeah, that 10 is gonna stay in charisma. Cause she's kind of creepy. I mean, obviously the whole place is creepy, but she's, she's the way she is. I think I will. Let's throw that 17 into Constitution, just for good measure. Actually, let's throw the 18 into Constitution for good measure. Okay. I think that she is decently wise. Okay, so let's maybe make her intelligence like let's make her intelligence maybe the 12. She's not an idiot, but let's make her strength the 14. Let's slap a let's put that 19 in dexterity because I think it'll get bumped to a 20. And I just am like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with a character that dexterous, but that sounds fun and exciting. And then that leaves, what does that leave? I've put my 18, my 19, oh, my 17. Oh, damn. Let's put that 17 in wisdom. Okay, I think I am satisfied.
All right, and this will be for later, but go ahead and click gold as well for me.
Sure. Just once?
Mm-hmm. So you have 132 gold, and I'm going to just knock those out of there. Don't need them anymore.
Okay.
All right. Time for the exciting portion of all of this. Class. So how I like to do it is, you give me your top 3 of what you can see this character being, and then I will kind of toss out my top 3 of what I see this character being from like absolutely this thing. The second one being like, okay, I could see this if we implemented some things into the character that weren't previously there before. And then the third option being a just wild card like player choice, like, oh, I'm really interested in this kind of class, and then I'll kind of toss out mine as well, which may be a bit more specific, as there's a lot of extra classes and things like that. I think I've created like 25, 30 subclasses on my own. There's definitely a lot there.
Very nice. Okay, so I feel like, given her overall vibe, like the fact that like she's a blood hag and she has the stats that she does and just everything, I feel like Blood Hunter could make sense. I feel like Blood Hunter feels right. I feel like it's the right amount of edgy that works with the stats. So I think Blood Hunter is my number 1. I think Ranger would probably be my number 2. And just for an out of nowhere sort of thing, not really out of nowhere, something I think could make sense would be, either like a funky fun like dex built fighter maybe. Yeah, a funky fun dex built fighter. That's my third one.
All right. Awesome. Well, for me, the top 3 that I was going to recommend were, the first one, honestly, you beat me to it. Yeah, I was going to recommend Blood Hunter. I was like, this would be a very neat Blood Hunter character. Absolutely. And then after that, we have Blood Hunter. Druid would be neat as well. There's a couple very fun like little druid subclasses that I have found, and that one of them in particular that I made myself, which may sort of fit into the themes of your character. And then the third one, wild card, would be I think wild card for what you are would be probably a monk. Would be very much a wild card idea.
Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't see it with that high wisdom and high dex. Oh my god, yeah, that's definitely monk material. The gothest of monks. Ooh. Okay. I very much like Blood Hunter and feel like my constitution is good enough to support being a Blood Hunter, because you can't be a Blood Hunter with shitty con. God, I do love me a druid. Oh no. This is so tough to think of. I think I will say Blood Hunter just because I've recently started playing a druid elsewhere.
Mm,
So just for diversity for myself, like personally, I think that I will go with a Blood Hunter.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we can hop right into what that would mean and what that would look like for you. So let's, I already have it pulled up actually.
Very
So
fun.
go ahead and do that. And I think their saving throws are Dex and Intelligence.
Ah, hell. Did they make So I haven't played a Blood Hunters for several years. Did they make Blood Hunters now intelligence based instead of wisdom?
Mm, mm-hmm. That is a new change that they have made.
Now
In
is
that
it
you
they
can,
just made them intelligence based or is it one of those variation things that they started throwing in everywhere where you could choose one or the
um,
other?
oh no, it's the latest version of the Blood Hunter was released 2020, and then it was made. It has intelligence as their stat.
Ah, okay. That's fine.
But I did read that whenever it comes to certain features and abilities, I think for the sake of saving throws, you can make either or. I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah. Sorry for being like sorry for like pushing up my anime glasses there for a second. I haven't touched this class since probably like 2018. Whenever like around whenever it first came out. So
Mhm.
I know it used to be wisdom. I can see why they changed it though, because a wise person who makes good life choices probably wouldn't become a blood hunter.
Yeah, they'd be like, why would I want to cut myself for magic when I can just cast it?
Yeah, fair enough. Unfortunate. I am wise and still chose to be a blood hunter, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I think yeah, if you plan to focus on the potency of your blood curses and mystical power, that yeah, that's what it says. Unfortunate, but yes, this is the way of the blood hunter. Do you still want to do it, knowing that it's Dex intelligent, or would you prefer to do something a little different?
Well, now I gotta think. Do I trust the rest of my gen mates to make something that will heal me?
That is a very good point. Yeah, you do have to damage yourself for your own features, but if you have a bunch of life, I'm pretty, it'll work out, I'm sure.
Screw it, yeah. It'll make for a good character moment if I'm not smart, but play a class that wants me to be smart.
You accidentally knock yourself into death state.
Oh, you know. Who else is playing this D&D with you? Ezra, Xander, and Zeki are playing. Ezra did their character creation yesterday, and the VOD should be up on their channel.
All right. Well, as we're gonna go a little forward here with your character creation, you have Blood Maledict. Do you have access to the new Blood Hunter stuff at all?
Did they just update it like online, like the general like stuff, or
I
I can just it's
think,
fine. I can just
but I can
open it in
also.
my browser. What you sent me. Okay, I see. Oh, but it doesn't have all of. Okay. Um.
I
Yeah.
could send more. There's definitely more. I sent
Okay.
you the PDF that I have of
Yes.
the class and stuff like that, so you can review over it with me.
Ah, okay. Understood. It is downloading now. Ah, Blood Hunter 2020. There we are. Okay. All right. I can see. Ooh, I got a fighting style. How fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will say, for the sake of expediency, we can probably just pick the fighting style. You know, what kind of fighting style do you envision for your character?
Sure. Probably. Ooh. I think I want to say two-weapon fighting.
All right, yeah, we can go and add that right in.
I love me a dual wielder.
I'll go ahead and put that into your character sheet here. And okay.
Okay, very good and fun.
And then
We
next
love
would be,
two-weapon fighting.
and then afterwards, I think we have your Crimson Right that we have to pick.
Yes, we do. I think I will do. Because when you first start out, you only get the primal rights. I think I will do. I think I'll do Rite of the Storm. That sounds fun.
All right. Right of the Storm. Okay, okay. And then next up after that, that is about it. So we're gonna circle back around to the blood maledict thing, and I think you get to have one blood curse.
Okay. You gain the ability to channel something. Oh, wait. Yes, I know one curse. So let me. Where do they have the blood maledicts listed? Are they like
Um,
towards the bottom?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they are towards the bottom. You'd have to scroll all the way down.
There's so much happening. Okay, there they are. Oh wow. Ooh, some of these are nasty. Okay, so I can get Oh, blood pierce. You can mark a creature until the end whenever you deal. Okay, okay. Okay, I think that I will do. Honestly, okay, this sounds it sounds like really gross and nasty. I think I want to do Blood Curse of Bloated Agony. Sounds absolutely nasty. And it doesn't require them to make a saving throw because I know that my DC is weak because it's based on my intelligence.
I think that is a very smart choice.
Yeah. I mean, you just do it. And until the end of my next turn, it has disadvantage on strength and dexterity ability checks and suffers 1d8 necrotic damage if it makes more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. I think that's kind of horrible, and I like it. It also just feels right being with like a blood hag inflicting horrible swelling on somebody.
Definitely fits your character's current aesthetic.
Yeah, her vibe. I just want to make just a horrible little goth girl. That's all I want.
Okay, now to go over some of the really fun things about your race.
Okay.
You are considered a fae in
Oh,
terms of
good.
like your creature type. So every creature's would try to protect you or magically, I should say. You'll come up as being a fae through and through.
I love that for me. I love being a little fey creature.
Now, another thing you get is an eerie token, which can be, a lock of hair, or one of your nails, or one of your teeth, anything like that. Or, I guess in your particular case, a vial of blood, or blood. Um, it can be used as an eerie token that you can utilize to telepathically message faraway entities, or alternatively, view the world through their eyes while they hold it.
Ooh. I can just be leaving teeth places. I love that.
I'm not sure if they grow back or not.
Okay, I will occasionally leave a tooth somewhere. I know it's like it's much easier to just use hair or like a little bit of blood or something, but just like at least once I just want to leave like a tooth cuz that's so just like I just finding human teeth is just always horrible.
You also get the spells, Hex Magic, which are going to be Disguise Self, and of course the actual Hex.
Ooh.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and slap those in your character sheet.
Oh, I can choose my spellcasting ability. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Which one are you going to choose?
Most definitely wisdom.
Okay, and now we have what blood hunters are. We have their little stats here. We can do your your health. will be 14 at first level. Now, do you want to take the standard or would you rather roll?
What would my standard be?
Your standard would be 6 plus 4 for 10.
Oh, 10.
That was very quick.
Yeah, 10's a good number.
And 10 is a very good number, yes. You can use that one per day. Or I guess we do. Okay. Next up will be your skills. So for your skills, you get to pick any 3 from athletics, acrobatics, Danna, history, insight, investigation, religion, and survival.
Okay. Well, let's get a acrobatics going. What were the you said athletics, acrobatics, religion, survival, and what were the others?
History, insight, investigation, and survival.
Okay, let's do survival. And insights.
All right, and time for the on top, which is your background. So when it comes to backgrounds, and I also have a background available that's basically just commoner, which just allows you to put your, you just get to put 2 skills of your choice wherever you want to. Or we can go something a bit more specific if you'd prefer.
I think I would like to be a little more specific. I don't think she's very common. I can pull up the I can pull up the list of backgrounds real quick.
It can be anything from a criminal to a folk hero to a noble, perhaps, or sage of knowledge.
What an absolutely horrible, unhinged noble.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, I'm kind of obsessed with that. Can I be an absolutely horrible, unhinged noble?
Oh, absolutely. So if you're looking at the lands here of where your one shot will be taking place, more specifically, stat over there to the middle right of everything, you will notice that the the place called Avtkin Mirdes to the far west is, you would know in game that this place houses an Elderwood. So Spriggan are quite numerous here, but you would look up towards Olestein, or more specific, Vachvin to the southwest. And Vachvin is where you start to get a little bit into the more darker, wilder sides. And this is darker for an already fairly dark world. Darker side of things, where there's a presence called the Fell Queen that basically rules most of the southern edges of Adur-Apia. And under the Fell Queen's rule, basically, if you don't mess with the Fell Queen, they won't come after you. What this means is that a lot of the southern parts of Adur-Apia are ruled by tyrannical Fey Lords that basically kind of bought and carved out a piece of their own. And your character could easily be from a clan or family of such individuals, a lineage of blood hags.
Oh, I love that.
And maybe your royal family, for instance, At the sitting at the very top is just like your great, 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 you know, let's put like 20 greats in there, grandmother, and they are a blood hag, and they've just lived the entire time. They've just been living for like the past 200-300 years, and they've been head of the family
Oh, I love
the
that.
entire time.
Oh, definitely. I love it. I love that. Mess with it sounds fun. Yeah, it does sound fun. Also, I'm at 669 subs. Very nice. Thank you for the funny number. Yeah, I will. I will most certainly take noble. That sounds lovely.
Awesome.
Oh God, I'm gonna
And
be so bad at it.
like the I think you'll be fine. The best part is that, maybe, once or if we do more of these one shots, we can kind of unravel more of like each individual character's stories a little bit more and kind of explore those across one shots and create this kind of like shared episodic adventure. It'd be very, very interesting, very fun.
Most certainly.
You gain history and persuasion as your two roles, or rather your two proficiencies. You get one type of gaming set, an extra language of your choice. So, one thing I admittedly forgot to mention to Ezra yesterday is that they get an extra language called Dreskan, which is the language of the Umber Realm. And that is pretty much the primary thing that is spoken. Whenever it comes to speaking to people and entities from another world, it can be very, very difficult because they don't know Dreskan. We have a language barrier there. So there's another language called Traveler's Tongue, which is basically the language of extraplanar travelers that go from different Fey realms, and that's kind of the adopted language that is used across the board. So if you would like to take proficiency in Traveler's Tongue, you can do that. So way if you are to encounter a person from another plane, you'd actually be able to talk to them.
Sure, I'll take it. Why is the Federal Bureau of Investigation in my chat? Oh no.
All right. And as a hag, I would also say my personal ruling for languages is that you know one extra language of your choice. You know Dreskin and one extra language. So, what language would that be?
Sure, probably, I mean, if Sylvan is still the Fey language, standard in this world, then I will take that.
This is true. I would say Elvish would be the kind of standard for that, and Sylvan is like really, really far. It would be like speaking Latin,
Oh,
right?
well, I
It'd be
mean, it makes sense if you're like a Fey noble. Like
a hag, yeah,
yeah,
you would know. Yeah.
you know the old shit.
You get fine clothes, a signet ring, a scroll of pedigree, which no one in this world would look at and kind of go, "Huh, yeah, you definitely can command me around." Unfortunately, it's just not that.
What is
That
that?
kind
It's
of
just like a piece of paper that says, I can do what I want.
Yeah, basically. It is a paper that says, yeah, so I'm a noble, and like depending where you are, they might get you mugged.
Oh no. I mean, they can certainly try to mug me.
This is true. Your stats are quite stacked. Okay, so just to review, you had a 19, yeah, okay. So alignment, what are you thinking?
thinking neutral.
Awesome. And now for crescendo. We have feet. So, one thing I do in all my games is I allow a player to pick a feat at first level. Feat can basically be anything you want it to be as long as you fit the requirements and as long as it kind of makes sense for your character to have as well. I do have a list of my own feats that I've created. There's about 30 plus of them or so. And you can find them in my Discord server under the feats tag.
I already
And if you,
cracked those babies open. They're already in a
oh,
new tab.
okay. If you would like, I can kind of shout out to you a couple of feats that might interest you.
Go for it.
Well, the first one is going to weapon fighting. I have to recommend Blade Dancer. The dexterity requirement is 20. I have created basically capstone feats. I decided people most often than not will hit like 20 in the stat and go, but it's like there has to be like something there, like, oh, I hit 20 in dex. I can go and grab like Deft Duelist or Blade Dancer as feats now, which you can expand upon what my character is actually capable of. So I recommend taking a peep at Blade Dancer because you might like it if your characters dual wielding weapons.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a read. Ooh. Holy hell. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm not gonna want to take anything else. I don't think anything is really going to benefit me as much as this. So, I think I would like to take this one. Me and my 20 dexterity.
All right, awesome. Yeah, this will allow you to use flurry of blades, dual slash, edge waltz, all those fun, funky things. Or just go ahead and slap it in your character sheet, and then that'll be your feat. You get another feat potentially at 4th level if you would choose to have it.
Man, I'm gonna hit things real good.
Now, also, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is there anything more metal than a goth girl blood hag with 2 swords that can just fuck your shit up? I don't think so. Feels good, man. Anyway, continue.
Oh no, I was just going to ask if you had any particular questions.
I think that I'm feeling pretty good, so I do not have any questions. Is equipment something that I'll have to sort out on my own?
Oh no, we're gonna be doing that. So I like to do equipment in really a little bit of a fun way, right? So when it comes to equipment, I prefer to do a bot system. Or I guess in this particular case, if you would prefer, you can pick from a set list. Although we'll have to redact the gold if that is the case. But when it comes to buying your equipment yourself, you basically get to have the gold and the equipment. So like say like your character's really low maintenance and you don't really need, all of the things that the Blood Hunter equipment list would provide. You can just say, okay, I'll just buy what I need, and then, I had extra gold left over. You can spend it on potions if you have enough money, which is also quite helpful.
Yeah, most certainly. Okay. So the 157 that I have, that's what I have to buy things for me to use.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Um,
The a light weapon on average would cost you 10. So if you wanted to get light weapons in order to use this feature that you just picked up, you just deduct like 20 gold right there, and you can get like a scimitar or short sword. It really kind of comes down to aesthetics.
right. So whenever you have two weapon fighting, do they both have to be light, or is it like one in main hand and then a light in the offhand? I can never remember.
So with the way how two-weapon fighting works, your offhand has to be a light weapon.
Yes.
Your main hand cannot be a light weapon, but for the purposes of Blade Dancer, both weapons would have to be a light weapon.
Understood. Okay. Then sure, yeah, I will just grab like two scimitars.
Okay, awesome. We'll go ahead and deduct 20 gold from your list. Now you're gonna need armor. So would you prefer to just spend 10 gold, get some basic leather, or would you rather go for the 45 gold and get studded leather instead?
Blood hunters, are they proficient in medium?
They are. But the downside to medium armor is that it's only a max of 2 of your 5 decks that you'd benefit from.
Okay, okay, then yeah. I don't really have much else that I see myself needing at the moment, so I'm fine going for studded leather.
Okay, so it's going to be down 45, 92 gold, and we're going to add studded leather to your list. And then you have 92 gold left over, so you can use this money to buy daggers for like being able to use a range attack, perhaps, for the sake of throwing your weapon, or just buy a potion.
Yeah. Are those like are we able to make those purchases like in game, like once we see like what the situation is and what would be prudent to have?
Ah, I see. So when it comes to like purchasing health potions, you may have an option to go and buy it once you're in game by just being like, oh hey, I'm gonna go by the herbalist shop. But there's really no way to know what threats you'll be facing once you go off to the Shade Hollow Forest.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll get myself a healing potion then, just to be safe.
Now I have to ask, would you rather this be a quicker healing potion or just a regular potion? A quicker healing potion allows you to use it as a bonus action versus an action of a regular potion. However, a quicker healing potion is 75 gold versus the 50 gold cost of a regular potion of healing.
I think I'll just take the normal one, given all of the things I can. I feel like my action economy isn't horrible to me when it comes to bonus actions.
Okay, so the regular one would take your whole action to consume.
Okay. So whenever it comes to, because my main thought was with the feat, if I were to do the things that are like, you can do this as like a bonus action, or even like, so if I were to make an attack and then make an offhand, or if I were to drink a potion as an action, could I still make an attack with my offhand as a bonus, or is that intrinsically tied to, like, you have to action and then offhand?
So with how two weapon fighting works, you have to have attacked with your action, with your main hand to then attack with your offhand. You could not like drink a potion and then bonus action attack, for instance.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll take the. Just give me the quicker one. I don't have anything else to be spending money on right now. I feel like everybody watching is realizing like how much of a fucking nerd I am and how how much D&D I've actually played in my life. These like these very like specific questions.
Yeah, I mean, you brought out action economy and the CCW. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. I do be bringing up action economy.
All right. With that, we are done.
Oh, wonderful. It's so nice to not have to worry about spells. Ugh, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is like absolutely amazing. To a certain extent, because you can just, you're, oh, it's your turn. What do you do? Well, I'm just gonna hit the thing.
Yeah.
But now you can go, I'm gonna hit the thing, and then I'm gonna perform a flurry of blades or a dual slash or an edge waltz, depending on your predicament.
Yeah. I'm definitely for it. I'm definitely for it. Alright. Feels good. Feels good, man. I'm gonna have to see if I can like cry and get like Chiffon or somebody to like draw me a really quick little art or something of my baby girl.
Well, that would be most helpful because we're gonna need art for the tokens for your character.
I know. This ain't my first rodeo. Well, thank you much for your time and your assistance. And if you need anything pertaining to my character before we get started, just let me know. Just drop me a message, give me a call, whatever.
Of course. I will do that. Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, you're done. I have to ask, how'd you like the experience? How did you have fun? Have a good time?
Yeah, it was a good time. It was very user friendly. As somebody who has had to help people make character sheets myself before, this is probably the most like straightforward and simple experience that I have ever had. I know that sometimes whenever you are building character sheets with somebody, that it can be very taxing. So I think you've got it down to a science. Feels pretty good. Yeah, and I'm excited. So I'm excited to see what shenanigans we can get into out here in the swamp.
I'm more so interested to see what you'll find in the swamp.
Oh boy, that sounds very ominous.
All right, well, I'll take my leave here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Lavinia Volkov does in our upcoming one shot.
Sure thing. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go say goodbye to my chat.
All right, awesome. Have a good one.
You too. Okay, well, we are done. That's so exciting. I set out to make a creepy little goth girl, and I have made my creepy little goth girl, and I'm so excited to get started. I am really looking forward to seeing what Ezra, Zeki, and Xander come up with. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna have no healers in this party. Because if I didn't do it, they probably won't. Which is fine. It's fine. We'll find a way through. But But yeah, thank you guys for coming and checking out my character creation. And I'm so excited for my new baby, my new baby, Lavinia. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing more Roblox with Nocti, so keep an eye out for that. I already have my waiting room up. And yeah, until next time, have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.